Hi, I'm jheimbuck, the product manager for the testing group in the verify stage at GitLab. And today I'm joined by our product designer, Juan Ramirez. Today, we'll be previewing a couple of the items that the team is working on for the upcoming 13.5 milestone. You will find a link to the 13.5 kickoff page with links to these items and the verify stage direction page with discussion of our future work in the comments below this video. You can always reach me at jheimbuck@gitlab.com or through comments on items labeled with the group testing label in the GitLab project. So today I want to highlight minimum viable change, an MVC, that the team is working on to deliver some of the first test history tracking in the GitLab UI. So as we talk to developers and teams, we hear time and time again that without the context of if a test has failed before the current failure that someone is looking at, it can be difficult and really time consuming to figure out if a failed test should be fixed before merging it, or if it's just going to be a flaky test that might pass on the next pipeline execution. And this is frustrating for developers, and it definitely slows them down as they're trying to push code and push features out to users so they can get value. So to start to address this, we'll be adding some data into the application about test failure history in two places, the test summary widget and the unit test report. And I'm going to hand it over to Juan to talk through the user experience of those two items.
Thanks, James. All right, let me share my screen. All right, so yeah, let's start by checking the proposal for the report. So the idea with the report is that we are gonna be adding a new column called or named failed before. And what this column is gonna tell the users is how many times have that particular job failed in, that particular test failed in the last 14 days. So that's more or less the idea that we have for the period of time for this feature. So it's gonna tell them like it has failed 20 times or 3 times or 2 times, and that's gonna give them a pretty good idea of how flaky or how common is this failure in terms of the pipeline that they're executing. The other part of this, as James mentioned, is showing this type of data in the test summary, specifically in the MR widget. So it's very similar. Once the person opens an MR, the pipeline runs, the user will see in the test summary a similar message telling them that 27 out of 79 failed tests have failed more than once in the last 14 days. Same period, same things. And on expansion of that widget, they basically get like these indications of how many times it has failed, particularly for each of those tests. So you get the summary and you get a breakdown of the tests that are failing. So this is a little bit more narrow and gives them a better scope of what's happening in their test and if they should address or not the issues that they're seeing there. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Back to you, James.
Thanks, Juan. Really great work on those designs. I'm really excited to see this finally making its way into the product. As always, we welcome feedback through discussion of these issues, this video, or you can always email me at jheimbuck@gitlab.com about these or other issues in our testing backlog. Thanks.